Welcome back to Health Matters. This is our special holiday edition. Now, everyone knows exercise is an important part of living a healthy life. But how can you continue your normal regimen when you also have to buy gifts, prepare food, and attend parties, or even travel out of town? Joining us now with answer to these questions is a personal trainer and owner of Pike Yoga in Germantown, Wendy Holmes. Welcome being here today.
Thank you for having me.
Okay, holidays, crazy, bustle time, everyone's doing this and doing that. And all year long, you've been exercising, following your regimen, walking, jogging, whatever you do, working out in the gym. Then the holidays hit. So what are some tips that people can use to continue their exercising during the holidays?
Well, it's really important. I tell people to have a plan A, a plan B, and maybe even a plan C, because things just happen. I would keep your tennis shoes handy. That's your best piece of equipment. And other things would be like maybe instead of at the beginning of the year when everyone wants to make changes, maybe hire the personal trainer now, or get in a group it's more economical and a little more fun to be with a trainer, so that you're accountable and you've already paid for your session, so you're more likely to go.
Now, when you travel out of town, of course you're away from the gym that you use or away from the place that you normally exercise or walk. What are some of the things that people can do when they travel out of town?
That's a great question. What I do is, when I'm going to visit family, is, thank goodness for the internet, you can actually Google, or look up different, on the website, places that will offer drop-ins. A lot of times my family is involved in a fitness center already, and sometimes they can bring a guest free 1 or 2 times. So I do that a lot, is look up. And again, maybe even just being with your family, visiting with them outdoors. Parks are good to use. If the neighborhood is safe, walk with the family members and just visit with them and exercise.
Well, during the holidays, our time is so tight. What are some exercises that give us the biggest bang for our buck, for the amount of time that you have to exercise?
Yeah, so little things like if you had to choose, I would say if you had to choose between maybe lifting weights and cardio at this point during the busy season, maybe not do the weights for a month and just really stick with the cardiovascular, because it's going to burn a lot of calories. And that's where we kind of run into trouble. We're eating and drinking more than normal. And so the exercising burns more calories to help us counter what we're taking in. And think in terms short term and maybe higher interval, like where you're elevating the heart rate and then bringing it back down. And then you don't even have to go as long if you're going harder than normal at a short period of time.
Now, what are some recommendations? We have patients that are wheelchair bound, or they have conditions that they can't walk, they can't exercise, they can't jog, and sometimes all they can do is sit in a chair. What are a couple of exercises that they can do to help their fitness?
Well, if they, everyone gets stressed out this time of year, right? So maybe even some breathing exercises to bring us back to a more centering and more calm environment, without knowing what their status is. If they can move their arms, even just lifting your arms, inhale and exhale big back into the center, or some different things that they could practice. Okay,
now you promised you were going to show me the yoga move of
that's
breathe.
right.
So show me what to do.
Exercise, and this time of year is also about being grateful, right? Okay. Having gratitude. So if you bring your hands to the heart center, so your thumbs are towards your heart.
First time I've done this.
And bring them to your heart. And so in your breathing, you're going to inhale through your nose, maybe to a count of 4. Inhale, 1, 2, 3, 4. Exhale, 1, 2, 3, 4.
Well, that was exhausting. No, but anyway, all right, go ahead.
No,
what do I do now?
So everything through the nose. So inhale for a count of 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Exhale, 1, 2, 3, 4.
So something just that simple can be helpful.
Absolutely, help with stressing, bringing relief to a stressed body, clearing the mind, maybe even that, and then all of a sudden you realize you do have the energy to go exercise when you thought you didn't.
Say a word about being careful about tripping over things and climbing on ladders.
You bring up a very good point. As much as we want people to exercise, do be aware of your ladders and the extension cords that are in the yard, and we're encouraging people to be outside. But people do trip and get hurt this time of year, and you want to not get, we're already encouraging you to be outside. So dress appropriately for the cold weather. Watch for the box of lights that you got out of the garage and forgot they were sitting there and you trip over. So keep your awareness. Don't be hurried, and practice your breathing.
Thank you so much. Next on Health Matters, while the holidays are a happy time for many of us, it can be a tough time for others, especially those grieving the loss of a loved one. A grief expert will talk about how to cope with that loss while still enjoying this special time of year. Stay with us on Health Matters.